Hi, my name is Nino Gonzalez, and welcome to another episode of Making Sense. Well, today I'm going to switch it up a little bit and talk about something fun that many of us enjoy doing. We enjoy going to the dollar store. And sometimes because there's great finds and it's just fun to walk in there, but a word of caution, sometimes since everything might be a dollar, you might be tempted to spend a little bit more. And that's usually how these stores make their money, is they want you to spend a little bit more of those hard-earned dollars. But I'm going to go through some products that are a great buy at a dollar store and will save you a lot of money. So let's get started with one of them, which is greeting cards. And these greeting cards, they range from $2 to $1, or they range to $1, and they're made by one of the major greeting card manufacturers. Now, they might not have the fancy sounds or decoration, but they still have a nice note inside, and you can personalize it, and whoever you're sending it to, they will thank you. And what happens sometimes with these greeting cards is they get tossed away after maybe the season ends or after a few years. I know some people like to keep them, or they use them for scrapbooking. So it is important to personalize these greeting cards with your own personal message to make them seem a little bit more than just having an animated sound coming out of the card and you're spending about $5 to $7 for that greeting card. The next one is party supplies, and one of the favorite things that I like are these Mylar balloons, and they have different ones, and even if they're not inflated there at the store, they have different ones and they'll inflate them there for free. And you can buy several of them and you can make a balloon bouquet, and once again, you're personalizing that thought, and it's not costing you a lot of money. Because if you go to another store, you might be spending about maybe $3 to $5 for these Mylar balloons. But not only that, party supplies such as plates, paper cups, tablecloths, depending on how many people you're inviting, they usually come in packs of 8, but you can personalize your party a little bit more and concentrate on what's more important, maybe the entertainment and the food, and not spend so much on those party supplies. Next thing is gift bags and wrapping paper. Now, we all like the convenience of putting a present in a gift bag, and sometimes we might need different sizes of gift bags. But at the dollar store, you can usually get these for $1, and even the smaller ones, they might come in packs of 2. So it is a great buy, and the wrapping paper, even though it might not be as thick as the ones you might purchase at the big name brand stores, but what's going to happen to that wrapping paper? They're going to tear it up, and it's going to wind up hopefully in the recyclable bin. So it is a good saving opportunity to put those bags to good use and put your present in there, and you still save some money. And in addition, you can buy colored tissue paper, which is also $1, and you can personalize that gift even a little bit more. And of course, don't forget the card, which will save you a lot of money and will make that gift even a little bit more meaningful. So one of the other things is that dollar stores sometimes carry food products. And one of the things that I like to do is buy day-old bread. You got to be careful of the expiration date. Sometimes it's close to it, but you can buy it and you can freeze it, or you can put it in the refrigerator and use it when you need it. But they also have other types of food products. For example, I bought this at one of the dollar stores, some taco shells. It is a major name brand, and we had this for dinner a few days ago, and it came out great, and everybody enjoyed the tacos that we made. It was fast and convenient. So you can find some good finds, but make sure you check the expiration date. And if it's close to expiration, and if you can freeze it, such as the day-old bread, then you can do that. One of the things that I like is going into the reading section or the book section of the dollar stores, because you can find some past best-selling novels. For example, I love to read, and I came across this book that I had seen years back, but I didn't want to spend the money. But now I saw it, I can wait to read it, and now I can enjoy a good read for just $1. You can find many surprises in that book aisle, but not only that, children's books. Children's books for $1, coloring books, puzzles that will keep your kids entertained, and you can do that on a budget and still save some money. Puzzle books, one of my all-time favorites because my dad, he loves these. And my dad is 89 years old and very active. He likes to keep his mind active as well, and he loves these puzzle books. And I always pick him up a few. They're $1, and he works on these while he's watching TV, sitting in his chair, and when he's not outside doing some gardening work. So these are a great buy. They also have crossword puzzles, Sudoku puzzles, any other type of puzzles, but not just, also for kids, which will keep their minds active. So I love these puzzle books. Reading glasses. Well, reading glasses are $1, and they come in different prescription, non-prescription strength, and you can buy several, and you can have them laying around your house because when you need those reading glasses, you can't find them. So you can keep some in the car, you can keep some in your purse, you can keep some in the office, some in the living room, wherever you want, and you're not going to spend big money on it. And you'll always have a pair of reading glasses on hand. And sometimes they come in some nice styles. So they also carry some nice styles, and that way if you leave those reading glasses somewhere, like at the restaurant, then you don't have to worry because it was only $1. Spices. I love to cook, and one of the things that I'm always looking for are spices, and sometimes they have a continuous amount of spices that you can find there, but sometimes they bring in some special spices that you can nab for $1. So here we have some black pepper and some crushed red pepper, which goes good with soups and maybe with a hot bowl of menudo. And so you can buy these spices, and if you go to a grocery store, you're going to probably be spending about 3 to 4 times more, depending on the spice, for that same amount. So spices are a good deal from the dollar store. Now here's one, pregnancy test. It has the same accuracy as a pregnancy test you would buy at a major drugstore or one of the big name brand stores, but the results are basically going to be the same. There have been studies shown that these are just as good as the name brand pregnancy test, and it only costs $1. So let's take a look at some other items. Cleaning supplies such as cleaning erasers, cleaning gloves, powder cleanser, bleach, sponges, especially bleach. Bleach is bleach regardless of the name brand. But you can find different types of gloves. For example, these are non-latex gloves. Some individuals are allergic to latex and they can't wear those type of gloves. And once you finish using them, usually what happens is that you dispose of them. Unless they're reusable gloves, which you can also find, reusable cleaning gloves, which also you can find as part of those cleaning supplies. One of the things that I like are the microfiber cloths. They're really good, especially if you're cleaning delicate objects. And the powdered cleansers, you have name brands there that are powdered cleansers that you can still find at the major stores. Sponges, a good deal because usually you don't want to reuse a sponge too much because of the bacteria it can build. So that way you can use it a few times, toss it out, and they usually sell them in packs. So cleaning supplies are, some of them are a great deal at these stores. Now, usually we might have some pictures that we want to put up in our office or in our home, or we want to frame some of our kids' art, or we want to frame a certificate that we received. But as we all know, sometimes these picture frames and certificate frames cost quite a bit of money. Or we might have maybe a group of individuals that we're awarding certificates and we don't just want to hand them the piece of paper, we want to put it in a frame. Well, these picture frames are available at the dollar store, and some of them, depending, sometimes you have to look through them, some of them are fairly nice. And for what you're going to be using them for, especially if you're displaying your children's art, or maybe a photograph that you take and you want to cherish that moment and be able to look at it, you don't have to spend big bucks, and you can take a look at those picture frames. Envelopes and bubble mailers. Well, this, especially the bubble mailers, especially when it comes during holiday time, or you want to send a gift, you have these padded bubble mailers, and they usually come in packs of 2 or 3 depending on the size, and you're paying $1. And you can ship whatever you want. You can ship it safely and securely. Envelopes, different types. You've got the letter size envelopes, you've got the manila envelopes. So anything that you want, whether you're mailing or whether you're storing paperwork or you're delivering some documents somewhere, you can find this at the dollar store, because a lot of these things, they just have a one-time use and then they become disposed. And like I said, hopefully they become disposed in the recyclable bin so that paper can be used again in different types of other products. So we're not just talking about saving money, but we're also talking about maybe being a little bit green here. Flower vases. Well, we talked about these balloons, and you can now buy some flowers at another store and arrange them nicely in a flower vase. I've seen some individuals who take these flower vases. If you're the crafty type, you can paint them, you can decorate them, you can personalize them and make them a little bit more meaningful. But they have different sizes. And therefore, if you buy a bouquet of flowers at the grocery store, now you have that dollar vase where you can arrange it and you can present it nicely to whoever you're giving those flowers to. And once again, it makes it more meaningful. You can put a balloon next to it, and now you've created an arrangement that looks expensive but did not cost you that much money. But the meaning is still there. Saline nasal spray. I love this stuff. My family and I use it all the time, especially during change of seasons with allergies. It is recommended that you do flush out your nasal passages and keep them moist, and especially get rid of that bacteria and viruses that can accumulate up in there. So we use this on a constant basis. It is made in the USA, and based on our use, I consider it a safe product, and we have saline nasal spray, which you might wind up paying about 4 to 5 times more at a drugstore. Well, we'll come back to the second half of Making Sense and talk about more dollar store finds. Welcome back to the second half of Making Sense. And in the first half, I was discussing about some products that are great deals and great finds at dollar stores. And I know probably every one of you out there that is watching this show has their own deals and finds. And if you like to email me, please do, so I can add on to this list and maybe do another show in the future. But let's take a look at some other products that are a great deal at these stores. Drinking glasses, coffee mugs, bowls. So here I have an example of a bowl, nice and deep, nice for a hot bowl of soup, or here in El Paso, a bowl of menudo. And of course, you can put your red pepper spice in that to make it a little bit spicier. You've got coffee mugs. Once again, you can fill these up with candy, wrap some cellophane paper on it, and present it as a gift, or you can use it yourself. And they have different designs. They get different designs every time. And if you don't want to buy the whole set, you don't have to. Let's say you only need 3 coffee mugs or 3 bowls. Then you're not forced to buy the whole set, and it won't break the budget. Also, these are great for college kids, especially, or somebody who's moving into a new apartment or a dorm. This is great to stock up their kitchen. Now, we've got some glasses. I love drinking out of glass, not not out of plastic. That's my preference. But you can find some interesting glasses. I found this one, and it has different recipes for different drinks, such as a margarita, Manhattan, a cosmopolitan. So I'm sure I'll be sampling some of those recipes during the weekend, hopefully. And so you can find a lot of interesting glasses, and if it breaks, you're not worried about it. It didn't cost you that much. And like I said, these are great, especially for people that are moving into their first apartment, or college kids to stock up their cabinets, and they can have some dishware. So one of the things that I noticed is with some of these bowls and cups at a local restaurant, I saw that they were using them. And I said, I've seen that bowl and I've seen that cup, and I know where it came from. And so they're nice, they're very heavy, and they're very sturdy. And so they can be used for even in the restaurant industry. AA, AAA, alkaline batteries, watch batteries. You know, make sure you take a look at that. Usually sometimes you'll see a name brand in there, and it's good to buy. Look at the expiration date. Depending on what you're using them, if you're using something that needs a lot of power, maybe that they might not be such a good buy. But if you're just using it for, let's say, a flashlight or a remote or things like that, they're a good buy. And you can always have the stock of AA and AAA. Make sure you buy the alkaline batteries and not the heavy duty batteries. They seem to carry a little bit more power and last a little bit more. Watch batteries, those little round batteries that are used for different devices. I've used them, for example, to replace batteries in children's books that carry sounds. Sometimes the sounds go away because the battery has died. You can find these economically at the dollar store, and you can extend the life of that book. I've used them for a pedometer that I use. I replace the battery and it lasts quite a while. So I have had experience with these batteries, and I think they're a good buy, once again, depending on what you're using it for. Seasonal decor. We always have a season that we want to decorate, whether it's Valentine's Day, whether it's Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween. You can always find some nice seasonal decor at these dollar stores, and you can decorate your home and make it look a little bit more lively and seasonal by buying this. And I've seen a lot of people that buy these seasonal decor baskets, and they make arrangements, and sometimes they sell them or sometimes they give them as gifts. But it's all based on your creativity. You can find a lot of art and crafts materials there at the dollar stores too to help you do this. There's some people that are more crafty than I am. I don't have that talent. I wish I did, but some people can make things out of anything. So seasonal decor, that is also a great find. Hair accessories, especially for young girls. You have clips, you have bobby pins, you have elastic bands, and sometimes you misplace them, you leave them somewhere, and you don't have to worry. They have a great deal of hair accessories, including some good quality combs and brushes. So you might want to take a look at those hair accessories. Now, one of the other things that I did not put there is matches. So here we have this box of matches. It has 300, and it's always good to have matches on hand because you never know when you're going to need them. I use them quite frequently at home because I have an old gas stove, and one of the pilots doesn't turn on unless I light it up with a match. So I go through those quite a bit, and it's only costing me $1. So you can have you can accessorize, you can have seasonal decor, you can have good reads, you can entertain yourself with puzzles or the kids, and you don't have to go over your budget. Now, one of the things that I did mention at the beginning of the show is you got to be careful because there's psychology involved in this. Since everything is $1, you might be willing to spend a little bit more. So make sure you go in with what is it that you're trying to find and stick within your budget and get the products that you need. Now, movie-sized candy and snacks. So we've seen these big boxes of candy at the movie theaters. Well, you can find some of those at the dollar store. And I don't recommend this, but you can take them into events. Whether you get caught or not, that's your issue. But you can find a lot of trail mixes, a lot of sunflower seeds. You can find snacks for when you go hiking or you go camping or you're just out and about and you need a quick snack. You don't have to break the bank and you have this movie-sized candy and snacks. So let's talk about some surprising finds about dollar stores. Not every product is $1. Now, if you're going to a store where it is a traditional dollar store, most of the products are going to be for $1. But for example, some of the greeting cards are 50 cents. Sometimes you can find things that are maybe 40 cents or things like that. If you go to the other stores that have dollar in their name, not everything is $1 there, and they have a wide variety of prices. So not every product is $1. As I mentioned, most of your greeting cards are going to be 50 cents. Now they have some that are a little bit nicer that do cost $1. They sell name brand products. So some of the products that you find at the regular store, you can find them at the dollar store. So they do carry name brand products, and sometimes that is a surprising find for some individuals. And also they might just get closeouts from other stores that can't sell those products, and you're still getting a great buy. They're convenient. You can get in and out fairly quickly. That usually never happens when I go with my family because they like to look through every aisle, and it happens to us. We spend a little bit more than what we wanted to, but sometimes you can make it into a fun activity. The kids enjoy it, and they have a good time looking through all of these things. Product safety is less of an issue, especially with the big chain stores. All your major dollar stores, they're publicly traded on the stock market. They have safety information and recall information up on their websites. So now that those safety issues and concerns are less, and you just have to be careful, and be an educated consumer of what is a good buy or what is not. I've read in some areas that they don't recommend the vitamins that are sold at these stores because they don't carry, there's been studies that they don't carry the same amount of the nutrients that you would get in the major name brands or in a pharmacy brand. So become an educated consumer and see what is a good buy for you and what is not. And also, there's also some concerns if they're manufactured in another country. A lot of these products are manufactured here in the USA. So if that is a concern, make sure you take a look at where that product is being manufactured. These dollar stores, especially with down economic times, they attract a lot of upscale shoppers. So there was a study done by Consumer Reports, and it indicates on what income levels go to these dollar stores at least once a year. So if the annual income is less than $40,000, about 80% of that population visits the dollar store at least once a year. If you're between $40,000 and $74,900, then about 75% of those individuals at least go and buy something at the dollar store at least once a year. And if you make more than $75,000, well, about 68% of those individuals visit the dollar store at least once a year. So the connotation that, we're buying stuff at the dollar store, that has seemed to go away, especially since these are big name retailers. We can find name brand products, and the safety issue is usually not that much of a concern anymore. One of the things that I do like and buying at the dollar store that I buy quite a bit are little earpieces that I connect to my phone or to my computer or whatever. I'm always losing them. They always get tangled up. So I always keep some laying around. I might leave them at the gym. I might leave them at the office. It doesn't matter. At least I have a supply of those earpieces and I can listen to my music or a movie that I'm enjoying online or whatever. But it's good for you to understand what works for you and what doesn't. So these are some surprising facts about these dollar stores. And as a matter of fact, one of the big dollar stores bought another one of the bigger dollar stores. So these companies are very profitable, and they depend on your psychology, that you are getting a good value, which you are, but you could also overspend. And that's the psychological side of selling, is that's the attraction to these dollar stores. But you can make it a fun event for the entire family. Now, there's not just dollar stores, there's also thrift stores, there's Goodwill stores, and you can find also a lot of good finds there. You can find name brand clothing next to new clothing, maybe some athletic equipment, and you can still be saving some money. And don't forget your local swap meets. You can find a lot of good deals there, and sometimes some fresh produce from farmers markets and things like that. So explore your community, explore these good finds, and save some dollars while you're shopping at the same time. And maybe you can splurge yourself a little bit without breaking the bank or breaking the budget. So these are some of the products. These are some of the products that that we have from these dollar stores. One of the other things that I sometimes buy at the dollar store, and they do have name brand products, is usually some wet cat food. And I always try and get the name brand. And this is a good treat for the cats. And usually sometimes they sell them for $2 for $1. So you can get a treat for your feline friends and not break the bank also. Well, I hope this show helped you in some of my products, some of my favorite products that I like to buy at the dollar store. I'm sure you have your favorite products, and you might even have ideas of what not to buy. That could also be another show later on. But please send me your comments and suggestions at the email listed, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Making Sense. Have a great day.